Okay, so gonna do another video here, right? So gonna teach some very basic sales skills. Very simple things we should all kind of understand as common knowledge as salespeople, but a lot of times we tend to forget them, forego them, um, just walk away from them uh, because we just gotta sell something. We feel like we have to sell it. And when you do that, you start getting that sales breath and you start breathing your sales breath all over everybody. And it usually sounds like he usually ends up sounding like one of those TV evangelists. This is my Bible. I'm not very good at impressions. Just like, what about this says, buy something from me, I'm not good at impressions. So had some technical issues last time I tried to do this video, so hopefully we get it right this time. So I've got four basic ideas. Let's use a different color here. Four basic things that I want us to learn as far as our sales go. And these should be, again, self explanatory for anybody that is a salesman. But again, they don't tell you this kind of stuff when they're trying to push you to make sales, because a lot of the managers and business owners and uplines and what have you, they have just as bad a sales breath as you do because they want to make that sale. All right. Um, because if they don't structure their business, we'll move on to that. That's another thing. If they don't structure things right, they're begging for sales just as much, if not more, as you are, because they're having to support a full sales system structure and everything, and business and E&O and all that other jazz. But moving on, that's a whole other subject. So one, and this seems really counterproductive, but again, don't sell. Don't just keep pushing and pushing and pushing things on people. If they don't need it, they don't want it, they can't use it, it's not important to them, or they can't see the value in it. The more that you push on something, it's kind of like I watch psychology videos all the time, learning how to do that. If somebody puts their hand up and you put your hand against theirs and you start pushing, what are they naturally going to do? 98% of the people are going to push back on your hand. So they're going to, by nature, have some form of resistance. It's not bad. It's not them being mean. It's not them being personal. It's not them being offensive or argumentative. It's defensive. It's because you're a stranger walking in or you're a stranger on the phone. You're trying to, for lack of a better term, get the money out of them. And they're just trying to understand, be critical, understand what's going on. They're trying to guard themselves. It's not a bad thing. So honestly, think of it as a good thing, because the next person that comes on, if you earn the business, the next person that comes along, if they're pushing and pushing and pushing and trying to get that sale, they're gonna be defensive against that. And if you've done the job right and you've earned their business, you're not gonna lose it at that point, because the other person's a worse salesperson than you are, or me, right? So don't sell. Don't force the sell. Don't force it. Don't be pushy. Don't push. Well, sales is not being pushy. Everybody thinks that, I can't be a salesman. I'm not pushy. I can't be a salesman. I can't convince somebody to take something. That's where we're parsing words a little bit there. We're not always trying to convince anybody of anything. All right. And as we go through this process, we're going to find out exactly what I'm talking about. So again, don't sell. We're not trying to sell people stuff. I mean, ultimately we are, but we're not trying to, you got to buy this, you got to buy this, you got to buy this, you got to buy this. It's like one of my kids. Dad, can I have this? Dad, can I have this? Give me this, give me this, give me this, give me this. Dad, I want this. I want that candy. Give me the candy bar. Give me the candy bar. No, The more you ask, the more likely I'm going to say no. If you do it right, it's not even going to be hard. All right. So don't always try to sell. Don't always have that sales breath. You know, sometimes it's just too obvious. You know, don't be preachy in your sales. Okay. Yes, my handwriting is atrocious. Mom said I should have been a doctor because my signature looks like hieroglyphics. Some people said if I wrote the hieroglyphics, they'd still be trying to figure out what the Rosetta Stone said. Don't be preachy, okay? But better yet, let's not do it. Don't be. Let's do it like this. Be informative, okay? Be informative. And yes, there's some things you got to do. You have to qualify the customer. Hey, do what solutions are you needing, sort of thing. If you walk into somebody's business and they're a trucking company, they don't need a general liability policy for a restaurant. I mean, it just, it seems logical, but a lot of times we forget that. Okay, and that's the far end of the spectrum kind of idea. But again, if you walk into a dentist's office, they might not need dental, but then again, they might. We don't know. All right. So we never know until we talk to them, qualify the customer. But be kind about it and be informative. Be willing to give the information, willing to give more than what we expect back. Okay? Because it's the same old kind of concept. When you walk up to somebody and offer to shake their hand, 98% of the people are not going to recoil. 98% of the people are going to offer to shake your hand as well. They're going to stick their hand out. And if you are willing to give something to them, they're more willing to give back. If you give them information, they're going to be willing to give information. Okay. One of my salesmen, he walks in with candy bars, 100 grand candy bars. And he's like, if I could do something for you today that made you 100 grand, would you be willing to do it? It's gimmicky, but he gets a giggle, and he's able to give them candy, and he's memorable. Okay, let's put it that he's memorable. So that's the thing that I'm saying. Be informative. Don't be rude about it, but be informative. Okay. So and there's guys all over the internet that they're more willing to provide the information, knowing that 90% of the people that they give that information to, they're never going to hear from. But they're giving of themselves and their information and their experience and their knowledge. So you never know when that person's going to come back and be like, you know what, I was thinking about that. I need that. All right. Here's the other thing. Here. And my handwriting strikes again. That's why I have the eraser handy at all times. If you can see that, be willing to walk away. Customers are always willing to walk away. We have to be willing to walk away as salespeople too. All right? We're providing a service for somebody. And yes, sometimes it's going to cost more for us to provide that service than we're going to bring in. And that's where we have to make the judgment call. If we're doing it just out of the kindness of our heart, or if we're doing it because we can see that there's possibly the development of a further relationship going on, or, if we know that there's something else that they need and we can really truly be a service to them and they really need our help with something. So the thing is, be willing to walk away. So that does a couple of things psychologically. That pretty much is the mouthwash for any sales breath, right? If you're willing to walk away after you've, hey, made my presentation, I've done my best job at it, I've used my skills as much as I can, I've informed you as much as I'm willing to at this time, or as much as you're allowing me to. Be willing to walk away. And don't have your feelings hurt by that. Don't take it personal. It may not be the right time. It may not be the right product. It may be in between their payroll. What kind of brought all this on is yesterday, I won a client, I lost a client. Not a big deal. I won one simply because I was able to provide something to him that he needed, and I was able to do it quicker and better than any other representative. He had another representative that he was dealing with, but they didn't call him back. And they weren't able to provide him with the service that I was. Not saying that they were bad or anything against them or slight against them. Yeah, I know them. But it was simply that I was there and I was willing to put in the work to do that. The other customer that I didn't win was kind of a mutual thing. I knew that there was something that I didn't really feel right about, and I sent them all the information. I let it sit a day, reached back out to them, and then they didn't answer, so I reached back out to them yesterday, and they said, oh yeah, I went with somebody else. And I kind of delved in a little bit more with them, talked to them a little bit more about it, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm really one of those obnoxious types of individuals where, I'm always bouncing between whatever deal I think is best at the time. I'm like, walking away. Those are the type that are going to be high maintenance. And for as small as a product as I was offering them, it wasn't, I can go somewhere else and spend just as much time on another prospect and hopefully gain that prospect over this one and spend half the time maintaining this one as the one that I walked away from. Okay. All that to say, it in the long run, I may have won that sale, but it was going to be more taxing on me. So I was just like, that's all right. I'm going to walk away from it. It was, I'm not going to fight for that one. I don't take it personally. Hope she didn't take it personally. Not a big deal. Okay? And I just knew that there was something a little bit off about it whenever I started quoting him and talking to him. And so I was just like, I'm not going to slow walk it, but I'm not going to put it at the top of my priority list. And if I get it, I get it. But if I don't, I'm going to walk away. All right? So again, that's the cure for any sales breath. That's the mouthwash for any sales breath, is the ability to walk away and the willingness. And the other thing is, keep the door open. Okay? Keep the door open for them. I'm not going to cut this person off, the one that I was talking about right there. I'm just not going to cut them off. But I'm going to keep the door open. I'm not going to pursue them and chase them. I'm not going to say, oh, well, if you come banging on my door, I'll answer my phone. But if they come back to me and say, hey, I was thinking about it, and that what you were presenting me with, yes, I need that. Let's do that. But the reason, I can do that is because I'm keeping the door open for her. Told her what I had, showed her what I had, Gave her, the pros and the cons, the Ben Franklin clothes, this is what you gain, this is what you lose, this is what you have now, this is what you can have, all that fun stuff. And I was just like, there it is. And I didn't push them because you never know, a month down the road, 2 months down the road, she may go somewhere else, but she may come back to me. So I'm going to keep the door open, but I'm not going to pursue it. There are some that, I do want to pursue because I know that I can get them and I do better for them and keep them. But something like that, they may come back. Never burn your bridges. Was it Richest Man in Babylon? And I can't quote it, unfortunately, but it's a great book. Get a chance to read that one. Pull that book out and read it. Richest Man in Babylon said there may come a time, there are people that you cannot, one day you won't be able to sell them a chariot for a penny, but the next day they will give you their house for a pile of timbers. We don't know what's going on in each customer or prospect's life at the time. So they may one day decide, hey, you know what? I really do need to talk to you. Okay? And sometimes we do need to call them and say, hey, remember we had that conversation we had? Is it time for that? You got some time to sit down and talk about it again? Yeah, if it's a 5-minute long phone call, not a big deal. Not a lot of time out of my day. But if I keep them on the drip list and 6 months down the road, I contact them again, they realize I'm in this for the long haul, they may decide it's time to switch over and go with somebody that's going to be loyal to them and they can be loyal to as well. Okay? So hopefully this is helpful. This is some very, very fundamental basics of sales, okay, that helps us with our mindset. You know what else this helps with? Okay? And this is something that I've had a lot of problems with. Because again, hey, what about this as buy for me? But being willing to walk away also helps you with the idea of cold call reluctance, phone call reluctance, prospecting reluctance. Hey, be willing to walk away because there's always somebody next door that you can serve probably just as well or better. One individual said, and this guy, I found he's awesome. Play a game with yourself here. Play this business game. And there's a book out there that says, go for no. Go for the no's. Set your goal. I'm going to get 10 no's today. You get to that 9th person, and you're on that 9th no, and the 10th person says, yeah, I'll buy that. Man, I got to start all over again. So by the time you go for a streak of 10 no's, you might have 5 sales in a day. So, and that makes a lot of sense, guys. I mean, that's some really good psychology right there that some of us have a little trouble picking up on. We're a little slow. But again, be willing to walk away, and that gives you that sales mouthwash. It also gives you that intestinal fortitude to be like, I'm at 4 no's right now. I got to get 6 more. All right? So, hope this is helpful. Hope this blesses you some way or another. Hope you can learn from this and apply it and go make a difference. All right? Thanks.